This is London's newest bridge. It's just opened here in Canada Water. But unlike other bridges, this one isn't just about getting from A to B. That's because this bridge runs through the heart of London's newest wildlife habitat, allowing people to take a stroll through, de-stress, admire the scenery and maybe see some animals. Right in the heart of Zone 2. So why build a bridge to nowhere across an old industrial dock in southeast London? The people that built it say the bridge improves the wildlife habitat and brings people closer to nature. That's because the bridge, or boardwalk, floats on the water, creating a new shoreline. The 170-metre long boardwalk is inspired by the history of the Surrey docks and its role at the heart of the timber trade during the 19th and 20th centuries. When building it, they created a series of islands and channels which encourage local wildlife to create new habitats here. Several new wetland habitats have been created, and newly flowered plants and trees are carefully selected to attract dragonflies, butterflies, kingfishers and frogs. The 1 kilometre of new shoreline created provides ideal nesting habitat for ducks, swans and other birds. And the boardwalk snakes and weaves through this incredible landscape, meaning that anyone walking between Canada Water Station and the Surrey Quays shopping centre gets to walk through here. Which is pretty cool. Who wouldn't want this as their walk to the tube? Because this place has only just opened and because it's winter, the trees and plants aren't quite at their fullest yet. But these renders indicate what the place might look like once everything is fully grown. The bridge is really impressive and stands out like a red ribbon draped gracefully over nature. Another feature is the Deal Porters sculpture. It represents the role of the deal porters who used to work in the timber trade on these docks. It's a work of art which has been here since the early 1990s, but has been given centre stage through these improvements. On the opposite side to the station, a new stepped promenade has also been built, which allows people to interact more closely with the water. We definitely need more places like this in our cities. It was sadly in shadow when I visited in late November, but I can see this being pretty nice in the summer. Future improvements to the basin are also planned. This is the Pergola. It's due to be built roughly here. Its design takes inspiration from the old pergolas which used to line the dock front. The aim of the new pergola is to provide space for local community events, but there's also a pond and the space backs directly onto wildlife habitat. Alongside the children's amphitheatre, this will be used as an outdoor classroom for local kids to learn about and see wildlife with their own eyes. This newest addition to London's public green space is a signature feature of the wider Canada Water Masterplan. It's a 53-acre site which is being transformed from a set of retail parks and warehouses to 3,000 new homes and 2 million square feet of office space, as well as a new town centre. I'll probably do a separate video about Canada Water in future, but I wanted to keep this video quite short. The dock itself dates back to 1876 when it was used to transport timber, but after the docks closed in 1941 the area was left to rot. However, TfL saw the development potential way back in the 1990s and placed a brand new Jubilee Line station here in 1999 to connect with what would become the Overground. There's been development in this area throughout the 2000s, but the scale of development has sped up recently. In the context of the Masterplan, the boardwalk makes more sense. It ties all this new development to the station and gives people a small reward for walking. And it's a good example of what cities can do to encourage people to walk more and enjoy all the health benefits that that brings. But they've also provided a much needed new habitat for local wildlife in this vast, sprawling city which generally doesn't leave much left over for animals. And bringing those two benefits together has created a great new place for London. Thank you for watching. I want to start involving my commenters into my videos a bit more, so I'll start by addressing some of the comments from my last video, which was on Hackney Wick. Most urbanist videos I've watched are centered around areas in North America or mainland Europe, so it's nice to see a creator focusing on London. Thank you. I definitely want to do more videos like this on London. I definitely want to cover more UK cities as well. This place had an incredible atmosphere when it was still artist studios in most of those sheds and warehouses. It was totally unique. Now it's all very nice, but nothing special about it anymore. How many of the artists who made it interesting in the first place could have afforded to stay there? In the video, I mentioned that Hackney Wick was the first creative development zone or something like that, where the mayor would help artists sort of find space in the area and cheap, affordable space. So I'd be interested to find out from anyone watching, who knows if that has actually worked for Hackney Wick, or if it's a classic case where those original artists have just been priced out. What this guy fails to mention is that those of us who grew up in and around Hackney Wick can no longer afford to rent there, let alone buy a townhouse, and gentrifiers making videos on the gentrification of Hackney Wick. I should make a video on the disruptive effects on the local residents due to this. Yeah, I do want to do a video about affordable housing in London. I'm just gathering my ideas together on what that's going to look like, but it is a comment I get asked a lot, and I think it's a perfectly valid comment when I'm out making videos about all of this new development and oh look how great it looks. I think it's totally reasonable that I should do a video addressing some of the problems that come with these types of projects. I think it's not necessarily the fault of these projects themselves. Where the problem comes is when there's not enough affordable social intermediate housing provided alongside that. You do obviously then get a displacement, and that's not going to be good for London in the long run. We need to figure out a way to ensure that everybody is benefiting from London's development. So I definitely want to do a video about my ideas on why we don't deliver enough affordable housing in London and what we can do to try and solve that. So look out for that as well. But thank you to everyone who commented. Again, I'm really grateful for all of the feedback, and I'm gathering a lot of ideas for future videos from the comments as well. I'm writing them all down. Just need to get around to them really. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.